St. Paul, 2 Hills.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in early spring of last year, I requested the government amend the Traffic Safety Act similar to that of our 2 neighbouring provinces, where they require mandatory reporting of medically at-risk drivers by physicians and optometrists. This legislation has been in place in British Columbia since 1996 and in Saskatchewan since 2004. To the Minister of Transportation, when will you join our neighbours, protect our citizens, and address this critical safety issue?
Minister of Transportation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I've had the opportunity to recently review 2 fatality inquiry reports by judges here in the province. I read them both very carefully. Of course, it's always a tragedy, and these are designed to help us prevent the repeat of these tragedies. And I'm looking very closely at the recommendations with respect to the medical issue that the honourable members made. And all I can say is that I take that very seriously, and he should stay tuned.
For supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Given that Bill 16 and 36 last year both opened the door for amendments to the Traffic Safety Act, and given that on both occasions I approached this minister to add this important amendment but was denied on both occasions, to the Minister of Transportation, what is preventing you from dealing with this critical safety issue?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, nothing's preventing me from dealing with it, but you know, with the greatest respect to the honourable member, I take the judge's recommendation based on inquiry into an actual situation very seriously, and we're going to be taking a look at that. I get lots of suggestions for amendments that would tie up the whole legislature with transportation amendments, and as much as I would love that, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues would not.
Supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given we recently received a copy of the fatality inquiry into what was determined to be the avoidable death of Megan Walitsky, and now the recent passing of her classmate Maddie Guittard, this preventable tragedy devastated their families, the school, and our entire community. The most troubling part of this report to me was a statement that this tragedy could have been avoided by a simple $25 SIMARD test, screened for identification of cognitively impaired, medically at-risk drivers. To the Minister of Transportation, when will you respond to the recommendation of the inquiry and amend the Alberta Traffic Safety Act?
Honourable Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member for the question. As I said in the answer to his first question, I've reviewed both of these recommendations based on fatality inquiries. Have looked very closely at the recommendations therein, and I'm considering what action needs to be taken, and he needs to stay tuned.